Okay guys, so this video is going to be on drawing straight line graphs. Let's have a little look at a couple of questions. So the first one is asking us to complete the table of values for the equation y equals 2x plus 3. So before we start filling in this table, we've just got to have a think about what this equation is telling us to do to this value x. Well, firstly, it's telling us to times it by 2, and then it's telling us to add 3. Okay, this is a double step equation. And what happens is we get the value of y out at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply all these functions to these numbers in our table here. So starting off, 0 times 2 is 0, plus 3 gives me 3. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 3 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. And 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So I've now completed my table. Next, it's asking me to draw the graph of the equation y equals 2x plus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot these values here as coordinates. So the first coordinate I need to plot is 0, 3. So that means I go along 0 and up 3 and I mark it with a cross. The next one is 1, 5. So I go across to 1, up to 5 and I mark that with a cross. Next one is 2, 7. So along 2, up 7, mark that with a cross. 3, 9. 4, 11. And finally 5, 13. Okay, so now that we've marked on our coordinates, all we have to do is join these up with a straight line. So use your ruler to do that. And name the graph like it says in the question, y equals 2x plus 3. That's especially important if you're doing more than one graph on a grid. So this next question is pretty much the same thing, only we're bringing in minus numbers here. So I'm going to try and show you how we can do this question without having to deal with these minus numbers. Okay, so starting off, we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did before. We're going to work out what's happening to this values of x. So first off, this time we are timesing it by 3, and then we are taking away 1, and that gives us our value of y. So as you can see in the table, what I've done is I've highlighted 3 boxes, okay? And if you'll notice, these are the positive value boxes. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to fill these 3 in first. So first off, I've got 1 going into my function machine. 1 times 3 is 3. Take away 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Take away 1 is 5. And 3 times 3 is 9. Take away 1 is 8. Okay, what you might have noticed in the last example is that these numbers for y form a pattern. They are a sequence. So sequences have rules, and this rule, hopefully you can spot, is adding 3 each time. So 2 plus 3 would be 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. So what we can do, instead of using our function machine, we can actually go backwards along our sequence. So what we're going to do is take away 3 each time. So 2, take away 3 is minus 1. Take away 3 again is minus 4. Take away 3 again is minus 7. And take away 3 again is minus 10. And you can use your number lines to do these if you're struggling with the minus numbers. Okay, so now we've completed our table. We're going to do exactly the same thing that we did in the last section. We're going to plot these points as coordinates and then draw them on our graph. So the first one is minus 3 minus 10. So that's going to be to the left here 3 and then down to minus 10, and we mark that with a cross. The next one is minus 2 minus 7. Again, to the left to -2, down to -7, and mark it with a cross. We're going to keep going. -1, -4, along to -1, down to -4, mark it with a cross. 0, -1. We don't have to move left or right, but we do have to go down -1. Next one, 1, 2. Along to 1, to the right, up 2, 2, 5. To the right 2, up 5. And finally 3, 8. Along to the right 3 and up 8. So just like in the last example, we've got a straight line here. We need to join that up with our ruler. And we need to name the graph like it says in the question. Y equals 3x minus 1. So hopefully that's helped you. Have a go at some practice questions.